this new microphone and I recorded this video. It was like 40 minutes long, and when I finished it, I went to listen back to the audio to see how the new mic was going, and there was no audio. I had the mic balancing on the table in front of me, and it did not pick up anything that I was saying. So I was so annoyed. I have no idea how I'm going to do this video, but I think I'm just going to hold it for now and try my best to do tapping noises with my other hand. We'll see how we go. Anyway, I wanted to today do a video showing you the books that I got from the secondhand bookstore recently. These are not books that I got all at once. It's over a few weeks, probably a month of collation actually, and they're from secondhand bookshops and op shops. So we'll see how we go. I apologise if the tapping isn't very good. I'm trying my best. I think this microphone might be good for some videos, but I might bite the bullet and get a Blue Yeti. It was definitely my fault because I just like cheaped out and got whatever the fuck this is. So I can't blame anyone. Anyway, the first book to show you today is Any Ordinary Day by Lee Sales. Lee Sales is an Australian journalist who is known for being a really hard interviewer and pushing back against the lies or dodging the question that people often do. This is quite difficult. Maybe if I put my foot up like this. As a journalist, Lee Sales often encounters people experiencing the worst moments of their lives in the full glare of the media. But one particular string of bad news stories and a terrifying brush with her own mortality sent her looking for answers about how vulnerable each of us is to a life-changing event. What are our chances of actually being struck by one? What do we fear the most and why? And when the worst does happen, what comes next? In this profound and layered book, Sales talks intimately with people who have faced the unimaginable, from terrorism to natural disasters to simply being in the wrong place at the wrong time. Expecting broken lives, she instead finds strength, hope, even humour. Sales brilliantly condenses the latest research on the way the human brain processes fear and grief, and poses the questions we often ignore out of our awkwardness. Along the way, she offers an unguarded account of her own challenges and what she's learned about coping with life's unexpected blows. I'm very excited to read this book. Alrighty. The next book we have here is Conclave by Robert Harris. I really wanted to watch the movie that just came out with Ralph Fiennes, but I always do that. I love reading, but I also love film. I can appreciate the art that goes into both, and I really wanted to because so much is left out of movies when they adapt it from a book. So we're reading the book first, and when I found it, I was like, perfect, perfect, perfect. Behind the locked doors of the Sistine Chapel, 118 cardinals are meeting in conclave to cast their votes in the world's most secretive election. They are holy men, but they are ambiguous, and they have rivals. Over the next 72 hours, one of them will become the most powerful spiritual figures on earth. Who will it be? I don't know, I guess that's why I need to read the book to find out. Oh, sorry, I have pins and needles. I'm like scooting. Alrighty. The next book here is the Mythic Tarot book. This book essentially has the tarot card meanings, but also how to do different layouts and what the cards in those layouts and their positions mean. I love little books like this, so when I saw it, I was like, you are coming home with me. Alrighty, the next book is Audition. This book is a new release, and I actually picked this one up because someone put it in my book library. If you guys didn't know, I think I've mentioned it in another video, but I actually run a book library, and I love to sort of have a look what's in there, and if there's something that I think I'm interested in reading, I'll read it and then obviously go put it back. I've heard mixed reviews on this book, but I'm definitely curious to have a read of it, see how I go. I can open to the front page, I'll read you the blurb. Two people meet for lunch in Manhattan restaurant. She's accomplished actress in rehearsals for an upcoming premiere. He's attractive, troubling, and young enough to be her son. Who is he to her, and who is she to him? In this compulsively readable, brilliantly constructed novel, two competing narratives unspool, writing our understanding of the roles we play every day. Partner, parent, creator, muse, and the truths every performance masks, especially from those who think they know us most intimately. So we'll see how we go with this one. I will let you know what I think of it. Brazil. I recently this month read her quarterly essay and I really, really enjoyed it. So I had this on my want to read list, and when I was at an op shop, I saw it there among the books, and I was like, what are the chances of that? So I obviously had to pick it up. Don't mind my cat currently on my computer. You probably can't even hear that because this microphone's a bit shit, but essentially this book sort of rewrites the narrative and asks more important questions around domestic violence. Instead of asking the comment, why didn't she leave earlier, we should be asking, why did he do it? This is a pretty heavy book, but I think it's so important to learn about this stuff and read about this stuff, so I'm definitely very excited for this one. Alrighty, the next book here is Wayward by Amelia Hart. This sort of strays a little bit from the books that I usually read. Normally, my biggest category is sort of literary fiction. This is just normal fiction, but it's not necessarily something that I would normally read all that often. Sorry, got pins and needles. I needed to move. Hi, Ducky. My cat is here. So, basically, in this book, it follows three characters. One who's staying in his cottage. One who is interested in collecting insects and climbing trees, more so than becoming a proper quote-unquote lady. And one who is accused of killing a local man and is burned during the Salem witch trials. So it follows three women over the span of 200 years. Again, not something I would necessarily normally pick up, but I'm interested, so we'll see how it goes. My cat is currently rubbing up against my pile of books. The next book falls victim to what I was talking about before about watching the movie and then not needing to watch the book because you spoiled it by watching the movie. I have seen this movie, but I haven't read the book. This is a classic. If you haven't read it, you are living under a rock. No, I'm kidding, because I haven't even read it, but Lord of the Flies by William Golding essentially follows a group of boys who have crash landed on an island. It is a classic case study as to what happens, quote unquote, when there are no rules or government. Not sure I 100% believe that, but it is an interesting one. Alrighty, next book here is Jacinda Ardern's biography. Now, if you watch my videos, you'll know that I did just buy her new book, A Different Kind of Power. That one is written by her. This one is written by someone else, but I'm still curious to read it just to sort of see what happens. really annoyed that my last video didn't work with this new microphone. I'm really hoping this works, so let me know in the comments what you think. I think I'm just gonna get a Blue Yeti. Like, honestly, that seems like such a bit of an experience, and I love listening to ASMR with Yetis, so I think I'm just gonna do it. I didn't want to spend that much money, but I might just return this one or sell it because it sucks. This is another classic that I cannot believe I haven't read. We have Dracula by Bram Stoker. Or Stoker. Stoker, sorry, I added an R in there. When Jonathan Harker visits Transylvania to help Count Dracula purchase a London house, he makes horrifying discoveries in his client's castle. Soon afterwards, disturbing incidents unfold in England. An unnamed ship is wrecked. Strange puncture marks appear on a young woman's neck, and a lunatic asylum inmate raves about the imminent arrival of his master. In the ensuing battle of wits between the sinister Count and a determined group of adversaries, Bram Stoker created a masterpiece of the horror genre, probing into questions of identity, sanity, and dark concerns of Victorian sexuality and desire. Oh my god, I still have pins and needles, I'm so sorry. I need to move my leg. That is one thing that I feel like you don't see from ASMR YouTubers or YouTubers in general. I don't understand how they can sit for so long and like not need to move around. Alrighty, next two books here are part of a series. I do have the other books in this series. So when I saw these at an op shop, I thought, well, I have to pick them up. So we have Before We Say Goodbye and Before We Forget Kindness. I literally cannot tap on these because I can't hold them and tap, but this one here is the fourth novel. The regulars of the Magical Cafe are well acquainted with its famous legend and extraordinary time-travelling offers. Many patrons have reunited with old flames, made amends with the strange family, and visited loved ones. But the journey is not without risks, and there are rules to follow. Travellers must have visited the cafe, and crucially, must return to the present in the time it takes for their coffee to get cold. This book, also follows the same premise, but we are introduced to a father who could not allow his daughter to get married, a woman who couldn't give Valentine's Day chocolates to her loved one, a boy who wants to show his smile to his divorced parents, and a widow holding a child with no name. Alrighty, I think this video is going to be a little bit shorter than the one that I had previously recorded, just because I'm already at the last 3 books, I think. I think I've only been recording for like 20 or so minutes. I'm so sad the audio was so bad on the last one. Alrighty. The third last book. We have Britney Spears' The Woman in Me. I do not know how I haven't read this book yet. I originally went a really long time where I wasn't into reading, but in the last maybe 2 years I've picked it back up again. just don't really care. I know that's bad to say, but and then I read a few really, really good memoirs, and now I think I enjoy the genre. I wouldn't say enjoy, but there are some that are really, really good. So I'm excited to read this one. I think this will be one of the ones that's really good. I had been looking for a secondhand copy of this one for ages. I was gonna buy a secondhand copy online, but they were all like still pretty pricey. So then when I found it at a secondhand store, I was like, oh my god, yes! And it was only like $8, which is still like not op shop prices. But the other secondhand copies that I'd seen online were like $20. So I was like, hell no. So when I found it, I was very happy. Alrighty. The second last book we have here is The Testaments by Margaret Atwood. I'm very excited to read this book. This is apparently, I suppose, a sequel to The Handmaid's Tale. I haven't read The Handmaid's Tale, which I feel absolutely like lock me up for that. But it's on my like to read very soon list. There's a lot of classics that I unfortunately haven't read, but I'm getting there. Okay. And last but not least, we have The Mars Room. Oops, I dropped it. Let me read you the blurb. That's not actually the blurb because it's on the inside of the book. Alright. It's 2003, and Romy Hall is at the start of 2 consecutive life sentences at Stanville Women's Correctional Facility, deep in California's Central Valley. Outside is a world from which she has been severed, the San Francisco of her youth and her young son Jackson. Inside, it is a new reality, thousands of women hustling for the bare essentials needed to survive. The bluffy and pageantry and casual acts of violence by guards and prisoners alike, and the deadpan absurdities of institutional living. It's a short one, but I am very curious to see how this book goes. I've heard mixed reviews about this one as well. Alrighty, that is all the books that I have to show you today. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was a little bit more laid back, and I apologize if the microphone messes up at any point. I will have a look and see how this goes. If it's not too bad, I might still upload it just because. Why not? And I really wanted to film this video anyway. See how we go. If you guys have any recommendations for how to make the audio better, please leave it in the comments below. Or if you have any recommendations for microphones, let me know. I would also love to know if you've picked up secondhand bookstores or op shops. So let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. At the moment, I'm uploading videos every 2 times every week, and I hope to keep that schedule up. It may get a bit hard when I go back to uni, but because I'm currently on break, but I will try and keep the upload schedule. Thank you so much for watching and hanging out with